taking a look at the first set of Dante review questions. It's really, I say, fascinating work. It's fairly new to me. I discovered it maybe a year or two ago, and I just think it was a really fascinating look into really a great representative. What I was looking for is a representative of medieval social thought, and I think that this is really, really interesting. I'm not, it's maybe a little strange, but in any case. Number one, at the end of section 2, Dante says, now it would be foolish to admit that one civilization may have one goal and another, and not to admit one goal for all. Do you agree with this? Why or why not? Obviously, it's an open-ended question. I don't know. It really depends on how you think. I think that to us, modern people, that we appreciate diversity and plurality. And we don't think that every human community, especially every civilization, should be the same. Then again, that's not exactly what he's saying, that they should all be the same, is it? No, not at all. He's saying that they should have one goal. And, that may be wrong too, but he is not saying that every human civilization should be the same. What he's saying is that the overall goal of civilization should be the same. And that's a more challenging thing. That is, if you believe in the plurality and diversity of civilizations, do you think that every civilization shouldn't have certain basic goals? For instance, the welfare of its people, the well-being of its people, that they should have the basics of life and things like that. I mean, certainly he's saying that the overall goal is knowledge, the furtherance of knowledge. Now, I don't know if any of us believe that. That is, that the goal of civilization is what he says, intellectual growth. But if you look at the great civilizations of human history, if you look at any civilization of human history, knowledge, the growth in knowledge of nature, the world, art, literature, science, philosophy, religion is a central part of every civilization, as far as I know. So it's not as implausible, I think, as it seems at first glance. That is, if you think about it, it may be that there's more to it. Not that it's necessarily true. I don't know, but it's up to you. It's an open-ended question. Number 2, in section 2, Dante asserts that a being exists for the sake of its function. What does he mean by this? Do you agree? Well, that's interesting. He's thinking in this hierarchical way. Let's think about, and he's thinking in an Aristotelian way that everything has a function, which is not necessarily something that we really believe anymore, I think. But let's think of a human being. He thinks that the function of a human being is the purpose, the goal of a human being is truth, the growth and intellectual growth and understanding, and that the human being has been structured because they are a rational creature to understand, to add to knowledge, so what's more important, the human being or the end towards which they are structured to reach toward? For Dante, it's clearly the end. The end is more important than the thing that is trying to reach the end. And that may be a big difference in modern, again, liberal political theory, where the individual is valued for his or her own sake, for their own sake, rather than for the sake of what they are reaching towards. But again, an open-ended question. In section 3, what does Dante say is, I'm sorry for the grammatical error, say is the proper function of humanity as a whole? How does he arrive at this answer? Well, the proper function of humanity as a whole is intellectual growth for him. And he arrives at this answer because he says it is rationality, the capacity to understand and gain truth, which is the unique characteristic of human beings. So it must be their proper function. Number 4, what does peace have to do with the proper function of humanity in Dante's view? Well, we have to have peace in order to reach our goal, for our proper function to operate. Without peace, there's no learning. Without peace, there's no understanding. There's no growth in the sciences and the arts, etc. As he says, I mean, that's why peace is so important. Peace is really a means to an end, I guess. And then what quote do you think best exemplifies? Of course, that's up to you.